Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Horoscope Storytime. So, if you're new to my channel or you've not caught this new series on this channel, I'm basically reading you a little horoscope story time. And so, it is a column I write for an American publication every week, which I am also sharing here with you over on YouTube. So you can also read the horoscopes. They're on my social medias. They're on my website as well. And all the links will be listed below. So it is basically a weekly overview and a quick horoscope for each of the 12 signs, usually written with a dash of salt. It's kind of like how I like to do things. So, um, another question I've been receiving, which is a common question when it comes to horoscopes, are these from the rising sign? And yes, they are. So if you do know your rising, also known as the ascendant, read that. So for example, I'm a Cancer, but I have Gemini rising. So I read my horoscopes from Gemini. I do take a peek at Cancer from time to time because often it also fits. And if you are born by night, I would also suggest take a look at the placement of the moon as well. So I do sometimes read my moon, and you will find that, yeah, like that can also fit for me as well. But 9 times out of 10, if you stick with your ascendant, you won't go wrong. So before I jump into the horoscopes, I just want to make a quick announcement to let you know that the Contemporary Astrology Program, which is my astrology course, starts on Thursday. If you're in the north, it is going to be Wednesday evening, and this is going to immerse you into year one of my astrology program, where by the end of it, by the end of year one, you will have a very, very solid foundation in reading charts. So you're going to learn astrology, of course, but you're also going to be benefiting from my coming up for 20 years of astrology. So you're going to learn about, what to do, not what to do, all those little tips and tricks that you're just not going to read in books. And no one really shares unless you're kind of in the nitty gritty of it all. The link to sign up is available down the bottom as well. So the course platform is delivered via an app, which you can access on your phone, your tablet, also online as well. We usually get together for fortnightly meetings where we can chew the astro fat, ask questions, and a lot of rich organic discussions happen in our live Q&As that sort of, you just can't translate that into a webinar format. So it is pre-recorded lessons plus the chats and all the things that happen in between. So if you've sort of been sitting on the fence about learning astrology or taking a dive into it, Jupiter and Gemini is a wonderful opportunity to do that. Such good energy for blending the philosophical with the technical, which is what astrology is all about. And being a native beholder of a Jupiter in Gemini, I guess that's my forte. So I'd love to have you on board. And if you've got any questions, you can either put them in the comments here on YouTube, or you can reach me through my website. Link below, it's just my name, CassandraTyndall.com. So without further ado, let's get into the horoscopes this week. So these are dated for June 3 to June 9 of 2024. There is such potency and power in the act of deciding. It's so potent that, in fact, it has the capacity to change everything. Once you've reached a conclusion and the choice is made, all there is left to do is follow through. But why is the decision itself hard? Is it the narrative on repeat in our minds? Is it the conflict we avoid, hoping it will go away, but only ends up multiplying? The avoidance, the denial. A lie left unchallenged becomes truth. The pain of not saying what you think vastly outweighs the pain of saying something uncomfortable. To get to that place feels like a living hell. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. A lie here, a lie there, and before you know it, you don't even know what truth is anymore. If you're confused, if you're more confused about the world than you've ever been, If you're feeling an undercurrent that you can't quite define, chances are you're being lied to. This week has the propensity to reveal the truth. That in of itself can be a painful yet liberating process. It's also hard, oh so hard. No one ever said that facing the truth was easy, though it is necessary. Okay, Aries. Sorry, cat hair, part of my life. Aries, you have a choice this week. You can double down on what you've always done, or you can be open to changing your mind. As your patron planet Mars moves into your cash zone, some potent money moves can be made that could really reshape your fortunes. This reshaping will stem from your ability, or lack thereof, to take wise counsel, even if it's not what you want to be hearing. Taurus. This is a true story. I once got a fortune cookie that said, the sooner you fall behind, the longer you'll have to catch up. There's also a similar quote from someone much more famous that talks about axes and trees. In other words, this week, be strategic about your goals and desires and keep them close to your chest. Ward off the evil eye. Only talk about what you're doing once it's done. Gemini, you're so well starred right now that you may be pushing someone else's nose out of joint. As Madonna once said, if you hate me and watch everything I do, then bitch, you're a fan. You keep doing you, keep being you. The only people who have something negative to say are beneath you anyway. Don't let bitter people rain on your parade. No one will remember their name. Cancer. So much of the sky's action is now positioned in your most private zone. Some may see you as hibernating inside your shell, but really, you're just fine-tuning your instincts and intuition. Rather than letting distractions take away from what matters to you, you're tuning in, then tuning out the noise. Good for you. There is power in focusing on what matters. Don't let the naysayers say nay. Leo. You are at the epicenter of your social life right now. Being in high demand usually makes you feel loved and adored. That being said, are you being respected, or are others just basking in your light? Authenticity counts. It's really up to you whether you choose to be a flash in the pan or whether you want to be a lasting and enduring light. Choose wisely. Not everyone who smiles at you is a friend. Virgo, there's a lot going on in your favor in terms of your career or what it is that you're known for. With so many opportunities, abundance, and blessings, it will be easy just to rest on your laurels now. You're supreme at the power of discernment, so do be sure to not lose sight of that this week. Don't enter negotiations unless you have the ability to say no. It's not, Libra, it's not possible to have more and not give up something, or at least make a compromise. As it is in nature, for every new shoot on a plant, another leaf slowly dies. It is the law of nature. This week, by all means, say yes to all the wonderful opportunities that come your way. Just know that by saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to another. Scorpio, your guiding star Mars arrives in your relationship zone this week for the first time in 2 years. This could spice things up in just the right way. It could also irritate what has been bubbling under the surface. Do be sure to have a few honest conversations. Denial isn't going to do you any favors, especially when it comes to harmony at home, with your family, or those you care about. Sagittarius, it may be easier now to attract everything you've ever wanted. With your capacity to call in your desires, it is also possible you'll call in some elements you don't want neither. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Discernment is required now, so is truth. Sometimes your capacity is enhanced Excuse me, sometimes your capacity to attract is enhanced by what you reject. Be honest with yourself and what you do and do not want. Capricorn, you're the master at the long game. With that in mind, don't feel lesser than just because you're so in the trenches right now. Every little and big thing you do is all compounding and overflowing. It may not feel like it today, tomorrow, or even next month, but it will happen. Every day, do something that your future self will thank you for, even if that means stretching yourself a bit. Aquarius, regardless of the pressures you're experiencing, you really do have the most wonderful stars for having fun. For some, this may be about laughing and living life to the fullest, not worrying too much about tomorrow. For others, a romance or someone special may be sprinkling a little sugar on your life. Whatever it is, enjoy it. It has the capacity to change you for the better. Pisces, life is a compromise between your personal priorities and what your family life demands from you. It may even feel that the more you are giving, the more that is being asked from you. While that is possible, there is no reason why you can't put a little bit of magic into the mundane neither. Changing up your daily rituals a bit may give you a new lease on life. So I hope you've enjoyed those and it's given you a little bit of food for thought and astro entertainment for the week ahead. Do leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you think about your stars. As much as fun as they are to write and deliver them for you, you'll often find there's a kernel of truth underneath it all. So until next week, I hope you enjoy the new moon in Gemini, the Venus Cazimi, and Mars's entry into Taurus. So until next time, I hope you have a really wonderful week.